Welcome back to Instabills, everyone. So I'm going to go with you guys in the S&P 500. Again, this is the SPY. Again, Powell coming out on Friday mentioning that he needs more evidence of decreases in inflation. We have another CPI coming up before September's Fed rate hike. We're going to see exactly where our CPI comes out as. Our recent CPI came out at 8.5. Our prior CPI was at 9.1. So our question is, are we going to continue on with a decrease in inflation? And are we going to get that Fed pivot going into September's Fed rate hike? Again, Powell not exactly expecting that to happen, but if we do get that decrease in CPI, we may have anticipation leading into September's Fed rate hike, which very much will anticipate exactly what kind of momentum we do have here on the S&P 500. Are we going to continue on into lower lows before our September Fed rate hike, or are we going to have more consolidation for that possible continuation on higher if we do possibly get that decrease in Fed rate hikes into September? I'm going to go over all this with you guys. Now, before I jump into this, all I ask in return is you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more chart updates on potential breakouts that I mention every single day throughout the week. So let's jump into this one. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the SPY, our question is, are we going to continue on lower with this gap down that we had on Friday, or are we going to get a retracement from an overreaction to the downside? I'm going to go over all this with you guys here. As you guys can see on our buy pressure, again, this is our MACD. Our EMA lines are above the median of our MACD, so I definitely wouldn't exactly expect the most amount of bearish momentum since our EMA lines are not below the median of our MACD. If our EMA lines were below the median of our MACD, then we would have a major reaction to the downside. We will keep on watch. If we do continue on below the median of our MACD with this increase in sell pressure, that would be that Paul Volcker move possibly if we did, again, get a major increase in rates leading into September's rate hike. As you guys can see, we have an increase in sell pressure. Previously, we'd had this happen without our EMA lines above the median or MACD, and we were looking for that decrease in sell pressure to the downside with our white shaded lines coming in again, getting that decrease in sell pressure, giving us that relief to the downside, and with that possible continuation on buy pressure is what we would be looking for to continue on higher. For now, we are sitting on solid red bars showing us that we are increasing in sell pressure, and as you guys can see on our relative strength, we did get lower lows from our rejection that we had to the downside previously. So our question is, are we going to jump below the median of our RSI? Are we going to have room to run to the downside? Again, Powell very much mentioning that we aren't exactly expecting a Fed pivot, but again, we have one more CPI coming in September, so we're going to see if we do get a continuation on a decrease in inflation reports. And again, our PCE report on Friday also wasn't so bad. It wasn't exactly the best PCE, but again, our CPI going into September will show us a lot of what we may anticipating, so very much on watch. Now again, that is in September, so that is a few weeks from now, and so our question is, are we going to continue on below our 50-day moving average? In my opinion, if we do have room to run to the downside, very much just letting us come back down, test our 50-day moving average. We can have a possible intraday bounce from here. Look for a hammer counter coming out at the 50-day moving average point on the 1 hour chart for that possible rejection to the downside and to get that bounce here. But as far as that continuation on lower, in my opinion, we need our EMA lines to continue on below the median of our MACD if we're going to get that overall pressure to get that major push to the downside. And if we are looking to see if we are going to drop into lower lows here in the market, that is what we would be looking for. Again, a lot of people have been wondering, should I just completely short the market from here? In my opinion, we still have anticipation leading into September's Fed rate hike. So with our CPI before September's Fed rate hike, and with Powell mentioning a possible continuation on decreases in inflation, then we could have a possible Fed pivot. So again, we'll see what happens. Not exactly expecting a Fed pivot for the rest of the year, to be honest, but if we do get one, then we surely will know, and we'll know exactly when our next opportunity is here in the market. Now, looking at how much compression and decompression the market has, as you guys can see, we are testing the lower end of our second deviation here. Our question is, are we going to get back above the median of our Bollinger Band for that possible continuation on higher? And again, that would be our 20-day moving average here to see if we can get back above it. That would be here at 420, that rejection that we had multiple times. Even when we had that bounce back right before Powell had that major pullback, we did bounce back exactly to 420 and then had that major pullback. So again, 420 is very key for us to get back into play for that continuation on higher. But playing to the downside, like I said, I would be looking for that possible bounce on our 50-day moving average. Again, this is a strong support that we would also be possibly testing if we came down, and we did test. So we will see if we do bounce off of our $400 level on our 50-day moving average for that play to the upside. Again, on that bounce, that's what I'll be looking for. But again, very high risk at this point in time to play either way, because we could have a retracement, and I definitely would be looking at pre-market, exactly how the market reacts in a pre-market, and play from there. Now again, with that said, if you are a day trader or you are looking for intraday perspective breakouts that we mention every single day throughout the week, go to instabills.com in the description below, and you'll never miss a breakout alert today again. And all of you Instabills that come over every single day and support the channel, I appreciate every one of you guys. We're going to continue to go at it, stay patient, take what the market gives us as always. Hope you guys have a nice rest of your weekend. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.